Why, hello there, Sir Richard Cackington III here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we are going to be showcasing a weapon that is making waves within Destiny 2 with the brand new Season of Arrivals. This could be the best exotic primary for PvE in the game, and so let's get started. Now, what the heck am I talking about? Well, it's actually a very old weapon that got a very new upgrade. It's the Trinity Ghoul Exotic Bow all the way back from Forsaken. Who would have predicted that a bow would be seeing a ton of play right now in Season of Arrivals? What the heck? But what happened to this weapon? Well, it got a brand new exotic catalyst, and this catalyst has really changed everything about this weapon. So let's take a look at the OG Trinity Ghoul. Now, its intrinsic perk is Split Electron. Fires an arrow that splits when released. Aiming down sights and fully drawing the bow both decrease the spread. Also, it has another unique trait, Lightning Rod. Precision kills grant the next shot chain lightning capabilities. So essentially, this bow in its original state was kind of like a shotgun bow. When you would just rapid fire it, it actually shoots 3 different projectiles. If you're very close range, you can expect to hit multiple targets with these projectiles. They have a very severe arc to them, however, but if you draw the bow, and the draw time is actually pretty long with this weapon, it essentially acts like just one single projectile instead of 3. However, you'll actually still get like 3 damage numbers popping up if you hit an enemy from pretty far away even. Now, the Lightning Rod perk is what makes this weapon actually pretty powerful. If you get a precision kill, then you're going to load a lightning round into your bow, and that lightning round is going to chain between targets, and it's actually a pretty severe amount of damage. If there's a group of red bars, you can expect to kill, frankly, all of them. And if you get another precision kill with that shot, you'll get another lightning arrow, and you can keep chaining them as long as you're getting precision kills. So that was the original Trinity Ghoul. Not Trinity Cool, Trinity Ghoul. It's becoming Trinity Cool now, but the downside to all of that was that if you didn't chain precision kills, the normal non-lightning rounds were pretty underwhelming. So, what changed with the catalyst? Well, firstly, you can acquire this catalyst from just doing like normal strikes. That's where I got it. Every new season, the new catalysts actually have a pretty high drop chance in those activities. But what it does is it makes it so that all arc final blows will trigger the lightning rod. All of them. So, importantly, this means you no longer have to get a precision kill. And we can see that when we switch to the gameplay of the upgraded Masterwork bow, every single time I kill an enemy, you get another lightning round, and that means you can chain them so much easier. And even when you just use a lightning rod and chain the electricity, you don't even necessarily hit a target specifically with the bow, you will still get another lightning rod activation. In fact, it goes even further than that. You don't even need to get the kill with the bow. You can actually, as you can see, if you're using an arc subclass, use an arc melee or an arc grenade, and that will still trigger lightning rod to let you start chaining. Okay, so lightning rod shots trigger more lightning rods, so you can chain them a lot easier with the catalyst. But how good is that really? Well, it turns out very. Because like I said, if you shoot a lightning rod into a group of red bars, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a kill. Like, I've never really not gotten a kill against a red bar, except for extreme circumstances. So that means that you will always be shooting lightning rods, and that means you're basically shooting grenades. Like, every single shot from the Trinity Ghoul, as long as lightning rod is active, is almost like throwing an arc grenade. That is how it feels. And you can see in the background gameplay, you are wiping out entire hordes of ads that are spawning in. And the way enemies spawn in within Destiny 2, they'll often drop from a ship. You know, the Taken and the Vex will just kind of spawn in one small area. One lightning rod shot will kill them all. Now, I didn't just want to do the easiest activities and then pump out a video, so I even took this thing into the Garden of Salvation raid, and even there it was pretty good. But that activity has enemies a little bit more spaced out, and then we kind of have a detriment to this effect where it works extremely well if you can chain between enemies. So like the more red bars there are, the better this bow is. If they are higher level and spaced apart, it really doesn't gain as much benefit as it otherwise would, and it acts a little bit more like a normal bow. But even in the raid, I was able to notice some scenarios where, yeah, lightning rod rounds and being able to chain them constantly really did matter, and it felt a lot more powerful than it otherwise would have. Now, something else very important is that the way you actually utilize this bow changes dramatically once you masterwork it, and that's because when you take away the need to get a precision shot, you don't need to draw it. Like, you don't need to draw it all the way back and have that accurate round. You can essentially use this like a shotgun, utilize and make the most of that 3 kind of bow round spread, and then just, as you can see from the background gameplay, like rapid fire it. Shoot this thing way faster than normal, and the way that the projectiles spread out, kind of each one has a lightning rod, so they'll often chain between each other. It's much more easy to, just randomly lug 3 arrows in the general direction of red bars and it will chain. Like, it's much more easy to get those chains with the split round. So you're really using this weapon a lot more aggressively, a lot more almost like a shotgun rather than a traditional bow. Now, it still has that capability to be a traditional bow, and you can snipe an enemy from very far away if you need to, but if you're going for maximum chains, yeah, just rapid firing it all over the place is phenomenal. So the question comes up, like, is this the best new exotic primary in the game? Well, honestly, I think it has a legitimate shot. I think you could make the argument that this is in the #1 slot. The ad clearing potential is just insane, as you've seen from the background gameplay within this video. You are wiping hordes of enemies out super easily, right? And even you're able to wipe out a little bit more powerful yellow bar enemies if they spawn in with red bars. The strategy there is really to just go for the red bars and keep chaining the lightning rods, and then just haphazardly be damaging the more powerful enemies in the background, and then once all the red bars are dead, focus them down with, you could finish them off with your bow, but you're likely going to switch to your heavy or special weapon. But my point is, what's a primary good for in Destiny 2? Well, ad clearing. That's its main purpose. And so if this is the best thing for ad clearing, you got the argument there. Now, the one other weapon that comes to mind is the Risk Runner. That thing, when it's charged up, is insane. Like, it's actually pretty similar to this and how good it is to clear ads. The only difference is that you could argue the Risk Runner, because you need to take arc damage, is a little bit trickier to activate. This, just getting a kill. That's all you need to do, and then you start the incredible chain loop. But with all of that being said, it's not all positives. Firstly, it's a bow. So up close, if you don't have lightning rod active, it's not great at taking out enemies. You'd much rather have, an SMG like the Recluse or what have you. Secondly, it's exotic. Now, I know that's obvious, but the fact that you need to give up using Anarchy, give up using Whisper of the Worm, that's a huge downside, and that can't be overlooked, especially since some of these special and heavy exotics are so meta right now for damage output. Like, it really does matter. But another thing is that once you start to engage more and more difficult content, once it's a little bit harder to get those guaranteed arc kills, and once you're facing much more powerful enemies, you will have some problems. It's all good chaining against rank and file enemies, but if there's a bunch of Minotaurs charging at you and you can't get that chain, you're in real trouble. But for certain activities where ad clearing is key, I'm thinking Reckoning, even Menagerie, the new public event, the Altars of Sorrow public event on the moon, all of that stuff, the Trinity Ghoul is phenomenal. Definitely check it out if you get that catalyst. Worth upgrading 100%. And yeah, this is for sure the best bow in the game right now, and could be the best exotic primary in the game. This could be a game changer and really incentivize people to change up their loadouts and finally give their primary the exotic slot. Guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed, found this interesting, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.